Hello Weekend Crafter, welcome back to the Craft Time Studio. I'm Ange, your Weekend Crafter, and for today, I am going to teach you how to make some aesthetic coasters using clay slabs. I always have coasters lying around the house because I love drinking coffee and I don't like to leave marks on the surface. I use coasters for my candles as well. I also like placing my cactus collection on coasters. Now let's get on with our tutorial. Because I use a glass mat, I always clean my work area first by spritzing it with some alcohol and wiping it down. For this tutorial, you will need a clay extruder, a tissue blade, some sandpaper, a cork board, a plate that makes even logs, and a curved cutter. For the main slab, I'm using this sort of tan color. I will roll it out into the number 7 setting. Be careful because this is a very thin slab. Next, get the cork board. I cut this board into a 3.5 by 3.5 inch square. I place this onto the slab and cut off the excess clay using a tissue blade. Then I place the sandpaper rough side down on the clay. I press it lightly on the clay to give it some texture. As my sandpaper is slightly smaller than the clay slab, I move it around to make sure that the entire square gets textured. Now I bring out 4 warm colors of the same hue. Each of these colors are then passed through the extruder. If you're wondering if it's a requirement to have an extruder to make this, I would say that you could probably make this without one, except it would take much longer, and the snakes or coils that you make will not be as even. I am placing a link above for a tutorial that I made discussing some essential tools that are worth investing in if you're working with clay. Now that all the colors have passed through the extruder, we can now start making our rainbow arches. I used a curved cutter such as this popsicle stick cutter. This is to make sure that my rainbows are near identical. I start with 2 snakes and wrap it around the curve of the popsicle stick. I used the lightest color first and then worked my way towards the darker colors. I then cut the excess clay with a tissue blade. For the next rainbow, I start with the darkest colors first and move up to the lightest color. To lift these, I use a clay blade. I placed one rainbow opposite the other, and you will see that by using the inverse color on the other rainbow, the colors actually line up. Next, I place the same order of colors in a line, then I lift this up to attach to one end of the rainbow. But before I press the ends down, I bend it to a curve. I cut the excess using a clay blade. Repeat the previous steps, but this time attach. Repeat. Repeat the previous steps, but this time attach the coils to the other end of the rainbow. Now it's time to make different kinds of arches. I made ones with a smaller gap, as well as others that have no gaps at all. I also made rainbows that were longer or shorter, all kinds of arches that might fit the space. Once the slab has been filled with arches, I come back with the sandpaper to place texture on the rainbows. Because we rolled out the slab, it will definitely expand a bit, so I came back with a cork board to cut out the excess clay on all sides. Based on experience, rolling out my clay this thin causes a lot of air pockets. So to avoid this, I placed small holes all across the slab using a detail needle. Then this gets baked, following the instruction on the packaging. Once it is fully baked, I glue this on the cork. I actually used E6000 to attach my clay slab to the cork board. It's a trial piece, but so far it's holding on and I'm not experiencing any problems. I really loved how these coasters turned out, and I hope that it will inspire you to make these aesthetic coasters. Thank you for stopping by, and if you haven't yet, I hope you consider liking and subscribing to the Craft Time Studio for your weekend dose of crafts. Have a crafty weekend. Bye!